Alright, we're at week 30 of Saturday Uncut, and today it's going to be different. It's going to be a personal update. I feel like I just need to get a lot of things off of my chest this week, so that's what you'll hear in this video. Alright, so why do I do this? So first of all, a little bit about me. I'm a Filipino American who is based in Singapore. I've lived here for the past 10 years, so 10 years this March. And I moved to the city to pursue my career, to continue my career in broadcasting and media. And yeah, throughout the years I've worn many hats. I was a promo producer. I also became a content marketer for a tech company, and now I'm working for a media intelligence group where I get to help connect journalists and public relations professionals. Pretty proud of my journey the past 10 years, and hopefully in the next few weeks of doing these videos I get to share a little bit more about what I do specifically. Alright, so some reminders. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. I do the Saturday Uncut video every weekend. It's for me to practice my ad-libbing, so I've been doing it for 30 weeks straight, so this is the most consistent piece of content that I've put out. Yeah, so do check out my video description for more. Alright, so what is on my mind, or what are some of my priorities this week? And the reason I'm changing it up, because the past few weeks I've been talking about, like topics, like specific topics, like why I invested in an SMDC condo, or 5 things that I want for Christmas, and those kinds of things. This week I wanted to get several things off my chest, because there's a lot of moving parts, I think. First of all, it's the elections, the Philippine elections. I'm not going to go heavily into politics on any of my content on my YouTube channel. It's more of just how I feel about expressing myself. I'm gonna pause there. Part of my role at the company that I work for, I have to what we call Switzerland. I think all journalists should be practicing like this neutrality, right? Or rather a bias for only the truth. So in my role, I'm always taught, to be neutral as much as possible. But how can you be neutral at the face of look, right now, like, you caught on camera, you can see that I'm self-censoring myself at the face of everything that you see around you, from how the pandemic has been handled back in the Philippines. Things can be done better, and not discounting the fact that the frontliners have done their best. And I really sincerely believe that there are people in government who are doing their best, or probably the unsung heroes. But generally it's a shit show, and that's what I'm getting from a lot of my friends and contacts who are living in the Philippines. And it's frustrating to just sit back and be like neutral. It's like not human. It wouldn't be me to just watch someone experience shit and then not take part in that discussion. So that is just something that I've been trying to resolve, which has kind of stressed me out, because because of this whole this top TV network just did an interview with 4 of the 5 frontrunners for the presidency, and it's just, social media can be definitely toxic. What I'm trying to say is, I'm at this point where I'm trying to resolve, trying to be as neutral as possible at the same time, knowing that I believe in something, and that I want to fight for it. Another thing on my mind is that I've been in Singapore for 10 years, like I mentioned at the start of this video, and a lot of the questions that I'm thinking about now, it's like, I'm happy I'm here, it's safe, it's efficient, but I feel like I've ticked a lot of the boxes that I came here to do. I want to settle down in Singapore, but my permanent residency was rejected a few years ago. I'm going to try again this year. I'm asking myself, is this still what I want? If I still want to live in Singapore? The easy answer is yes. But then again, when you live in a country for 10 years and then there's no road to permanent residency, because my salary, it's a competitive place, understandably, you start asking questions like, okay, what am I going to do? What do I want to move back to the States? Do I want to move back to the Philippines? I don't think so. I don't have plans to move back to the Philippines anytime soon. Do I want to try out, explore, my company has offices in other countries as well, like Hong Kong or in Australia. Is there opportunities for me there as well? So those are the things that I'm thinking about. That's sort of creeping into my mind at the start of this year. yeah. Getting into sports again is something that I did recently. So I was kayaking last weekend and I had a really great time. So I'm thinking of, yeah, I'm getting a bit agitated staying at home all this time. So I'm planning to trying to run more, and that kayaking experience over the weekend, last weekend, was really fun. So I'm gonna see if I could kayak at least once a month. I don't know. And I recently reached out to the team captain of my old dragon boat team. His name is Raynon. I didn't know he was a team captain or one of the team captains, but I just learned that from after I ran into a friend recently, and I'm like, wow. And he's like, hey, are you gonna come back? And the answer is no. I'm not going back to my old dragon boat team. I don't think I'll be going back anytime soon or at all. Another thing on my mind is about independence. I'm scared that I'm gonna lose my independence, and I'm actually sharing this right in the very middle of this video. A part of me wants to be independent again. I feel like it's scary to lose that. It's scary to be dependent on people. And this is the part you're supposed to zoom into my face. I'm gonna drink first. And this is Saturday Uncut, so I can't cut this part out. So wait. Yeah, I want to be independent. It scares me that I am becoming dependent on people. So that is something I'm thinking about this year. To be able to be more proactive in the decision-making process, you know, to own and not feel guilty about the decisions that I make. Alright, another priority that's also on my mind is making more money. I think I mentioned that loosely in the past few weeks. And yeah, so if there are opportunities for me to like do video editing, voiceovers maybe, writing some freelance projects, I'm all for that. Of course, that is on the side. I'm really adamant on nailing my current role. I feel really confident about the role that I'm currently in, so the full-time role. But of course I need to earn extra money, right? So I think on weekends, if I could do some video editing, there's no harm in that. Yeah, so I need to earn more money. Getting my own place, if possible. It's costly to get your own place here in Singapore, but I'm thinking about it, you know, because if I'm gonna be in the office at least twice a week or maybe 3 times a week, I don't know, later this year, I'd like to be based closer to the CBD. I think living in Pasir Ris has been great, but it's really far from everything, so that is one thing I'm exploring, you know, just getting a price range from friends who are in the area, you know, closer to the CBD. Maybe I could live near Orchard or move back to Tiong Bahru. I have no idea, but I'd like to explore that opportunity. Of course, if I wouldn't do anything abruptly, but it's just on my mind. Resuming my Japanese studies is something I also want to do. So yeah, last year I was studying Japanese, and towards the end of last year I was struggling. I'm planning to do self-study in the next few weeks, next 3 to 4 months, and get back into a proper class by the middle of the year. I'm definitely going to continue studying Japanese. I guess I'm going to end this video now because I'm already at 10 minutes, almost at 10 minutes, but I think what I'm trying to do is to dismantle the shell that I feel like I've put myself in, and to be more outspoken. I think that's the theme of the past few days, especially with the elections. You know, it's like, I have to be proper, I have to be, you know, just not comment, not be so loud, because, you know, social media, the thing with social media is what you call the, what the fuck do you call it again? Echo chamber, right? It's a fucking echo chamber. That's what social media is. And I've done my best to avoid that. I try to see things from both sides. But now I'm being really tested. My patience is really tested these past few days. It's like, sure, I'm not trying to participate in this echo chamber, but at the same time, when you hear the argument from like the other side, the side that I don't necessarily agree with, it sounds like a lot of bullshit. So yeah, I'm trying to dismantle this whole shell and trying to navigate the space. Where do I position my voice in this? On my video blog here on YouTube, you're not going to get any of those. I'm not going to do anything political on my YouTube channel, not at all. It's supposed to be entertaining and fun, but yeah. But other than that, if you follow me on other social media, on my Twitter, Facebook, or otherwise, yeah, you'll see you'll definitely see and hear my thoughts on those platforms. So if you want to know, just go follow me on Twitter or on Facebook. Yeah, that's all. This is a bit. I feel like this video is a bit lopsided because it's maybe a little more glimpse of how I'm feeling exactly at this moment. Yeah. Maybe I could recap with 3 tips. The first tip is to make yourself aware of the candidates. Don't just take things at face value. Do your research. So I've done my research about the candidate that I'm supporting and campaigning for. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Number 2 is, if you want to get something, go ahead and get it. Go ask for it, fight for it, work for it. Don't just beat behind the bush. And the third one is independence. Yeah. Independence. I'm sorry, I just trailed off right there. Don't overlook the power of being independent. It shouldn't be a scary thing. I know. I mean, I've been in situations where I've been dependent on people all these years, but I'm trying to regain that independence again. That's something I'm really focused on. I'm not sure how many people are ever gonna end up to this part of this video at the very end, but thanks so much if you've made it this far. Do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next week. Alright, bye.